What's up, guys? How you doing? Let me jump in real quick. I'm a little late on this news. It is early in the morning here in Kabul, and I apologize. Just kind of waking up. I really didn't suspect any breaking news over the weekend. Uh, but you know, you live under the radar, you fly under the radar, and you make selections that are under the radar. And that's where I think we're at right now with the Dallas Cowboys. 1 second. Hey, honey, I'm doing a live stream. Let me, if you want to. Okay, love you. So this is a pick, guys. I'm not really super excited about. We'll see. Is it a little bit of help? Yeah, I think it is. But to me, I'm looking this as. Let me get the super chat. Not the super chat. I don't have super chat. I don't have monetized shit or nothing. Uh, and there's some things I'm frustrated about too as well concerning the Cowboys. So let me get the page refreshed, get the live stream open so I can see who's in here. Um, Everybody's on live right now. We signed a safety. Oh my God! Wow. I am happy the Cowboys did something, but to me, there's no reason to be impressed on something that to me he's not. I think we needed something a little better than that. I think definitely at 58 we could have got that in the draft, and then additionally we have five other draft picks. So I don't. To me, I'm just a little slow on what the Cowboys are doing and why they're doing it on this particular pick. Um, I know that everybody's been waiting for him to do something. I'm tired of us making these mediocre picks and guys getting cut. We did that with and now my internet wants to start dragging ass, which also is going to piss me off right now. I'm not sorry, guys. I'm not happy about this move. I wish we could have gotten something a little better, a little earlier. I know that this is really about to piss me off. I wake up, I see this news, and then I'm not really happy about it, and then my internet starts. Being in Afghanistan is a little difficult sometimes. So let me close all of this. Let me reset this computer, and then we'll get rolling. I can't see the chat box. I'll go to the chat box over here on this side. You guys let me know what you think. I don't think the guy's a piece of shit. I don't think he's a bum, but I think we need something better than that.
I don't think he's
Oh, sorry,
a
guys.
bum.
I think we need something a little better than that. Latest on Robert Quinn, Larry King again. I know that's your question, but it is really nothing. No updates. It's the same. There's negotiations, and maybe the Cowboys slowed down on him because they were working on this deal. We have money. We especially have money if we don't know what we're doing with DeMarcus Lawrence. I would say that this move at safety maybe maybe I think making a move to upgrade safety right now, maybe that means okay, we've addressed that situation. Now we can shift over to defensive line and get DeMarcus Lawrence signed. Maybe if we bring Robert Quinn in, then we think more about getting a trade for DeMarcus Lawrence and saving that money and using that money and a draft pick to replace the money and a draft pick. If we traded DeMarcus Lawrence, we save the salary cap, we get a draft pick, and that's how you replace players with youth through the draft and those things. So we'll see, guys. I don't know. Still waiting to see how much money he will cost us. Yeah, exactly, X Factor. So that to me that kind of determines. X Factor likes the signing. Okay, I'm not big on it really because I wanted to go young at safety. I think a young safety could come in, and Chris Richard, as good of a coach he is, I think we could out of the draft at 58. I think we got a better safety. I think May, is it May? Yeah, May. I'm sorry, guys. I get kind of lost with the days and the months here. April, excuse me. April whatever the first day of the draft is, April 23rd, whatever, 24th. Our first pick at 58, I think we have a better safety than we do with George IOKA. And you have Chris Richard able to coach this guy up. Larry King Cowboys could have had him last off. We looked at him last off season. We looked at him a lot. So obviously the Cowboys are a little high on him, which is good. We'll see what the money is. I guess that's April 24th. Yeah. I don't recall either. And the reason is I had planned on going. And then it's my thing is I was supposed to go up there and go to the draft and meet with Mark Holmes again and do all those things. I got that going on. I got my anniversaries, the April 23rd. I've got the draft. Then at the beginning, then also my mother-in-law. She leaves on the 27th. She goes back to Panama, which is her home country. So I got so much things going on there, and I'm actually supposed to be here. I did decide a little while ago, like 5 minutes ago, I decided I'm probably going to leave here around the 22nd. I'm going to take a long vacation, and if my company wants to hit me up with a salary, take salary from me for 1 week, then they can do it. I really don't care. But I did, so we'll see what happens. I don't like the signing. Like I said, I wanted to go safety first pick. I hope they don't change that. That's my only concern. At 58, to me, you'll get a much better safety than at 58 drafting defensive linemen. Defensive linemen are big. It's a man position. Those guys take, you can look back the history of the fucking NFL. Defensive linemen and offensive linemen rarely come in at a young age like that at 24, 25, 23 years old. They rarely come in and make an impact, make a splash. So I got my emails up here. I'm sorry, guys. I wanted to throw up some videos. I hope I don't throw up over this pick. I wanted to really look at his injury history, and I hadn't even studied this guy because I really didn't think it would happen. I will tell you this. I thought the Cowboys' philosophy on this year was I thought they were really, really, really going to try to address the defensive line, whether it was a tackle or especially with this thing going on with Tyrone Crawford. And I don't want to talk about that. If you guys saw my other video, I had some people really pissed off at me about that X Factor, I agree, but I hope they don't think we can drop down to 90, which is our next pick. We pick at 90 in the which is like 26 in the third round. We pick 26 in the second round, which is 58, and then we pick 26 in the third round, which is 90. I don't think we're going to get the safety at 90 that we would get at 58, and that's why I was wanting to address this defensive line situation in free agency. Again, guys, I don't know if you saw my other video. I had some people pretty pissed off at me about putting out that video, and I threw the Cowboys garbage out. I threw the laundry all out in the yard, and I put our garbage in the street. That wasn't the intent. I deleted those videos. The intent was to get you guys the information, get you guys the news on that, and then remove it. And I did that. I posted the video at about, in the United States, it was about 4 or 5 in the morning. I posted it on a Saturday morning, 4 or 5, and I let it run till about maybe 11 o'clock, close to lunchtime, and then I took it off. The NFL's going to find that shit, guys. They're going to see that video on Tyrone Crawford. They're going to investigate it. They're going to see that he pushed a policeman in uniform, and I don't want to talk about it again. But if you guys are pissed at me for that, I do want to explain my situation. Moving forward, I hope nobody has, oh, I saw that video. Yeah. I know you saw it, X Factor. I don't know. If you want to put your comments in the chat box, I appreciate it, because I had some people pissed at me. I put that out. I will tell you real quick why I put that out, and then I want to move forward. I put it out because we need to know as Cowboy fans what we need to do in the draft. If we want to talk about the draft, this right here immediately to me affects our draft. He could get suspended for 6 to 8, maybe more games. We'll see. If you guys don't know the video I'm talking about, real quick, because you're in here, it's not the video with the guys in the red shirts. Those are bouncers. Those are college students. Those guys' jobs. Excuse me. The job for those guys is to get everybody outside the club when a fight starts. And then there was a second video in the street where there was a fight in the street. Not a fight. His friend was getting arrested, and he tried to stop the police from arresting his friend. It was policemen in uniform with a badge, with gun, everything. It's a completely different video. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I see the chat room going down because of it. It's negative, and people don't want to hear it. But I'm just explaining my side of the story because I've had some negative comments and feedback on that. So on the safety position, I wanted us to do a little better than that. Let me put this guy in, and we'll see what kind of highlights we get on this. And if a guy don't even have highlights on. If a guy really doesn't even have highlights, let's see. Bengals 2-minute highlights. Why the Bengals cut. Yeah, and he was a cut. Let's check it out. Let's see why he was cut. That's what I want to see. I want to see what the news is on this guy. Why the Cowboys, picked this guy up. Why the Bengals, was it salary cap? Was it? I really don't know, because I really thought this was a move they wouldn't make. They've been tentative. It seems like always like the Cowboys are tentative to make these moves, and that when the fans are so excited about something, it doesn't happen. And then when it flies under the radar and the Cowboy fans are like, whatever, this guy, George IIOKA, he's not important. Who knows if this is going to happen? And then it happens. And we're like, oh, that's fucking great. Who's the defensive back that we signed last year, 2 years ago? He is, I will say, he is a guy that fits in Chris Richard's size and speed, and he's lengthy. He's got that range. You hear that word range all the time now with certain players. And another word I'm not digging into right now. I'm not one of those guys that likes to use, he's got swag. You know what? Don't throw words out there to make, commentate or make yourself. He's got that nuance. We'll see the nuances he brings to the Dallas. I'm not into that shit, bro. Show me tackles, show me plays. Let me see his fucking stat lines. If he's got some stats, if he's got some picks, if he's a ball hawk, I'm all happy. I'm all good. Bring him in. But I don't think this is a move that I can guarantee you this. You put his stat line up against Jeff Heath, and his stat line probably is I think it was a salary cap thing, and usually what that happens when that happens, Cowboy X Factor, when a player is a salary cap hit, that means that he really is worth less than the franchise tag. So if he's less than the franchise tag, to me that's a player I don't want. I want to move up. I want to draft a young guy that I can hand Chris Richard, a newborn baby chicken, and he can turn that thing into a fucking hawk, an eagle. Man, I don't want to say an eagle. I don't want him to turn him into a Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe that was a bad transition there. Buddy Johnson in the house, Cowboy Crunk. I hope you come home to H-Town safe and sound, bro. Buddy, if you're from Houston, man, we got to get together. I am coming home. I just decided today I'm probably going to move my vacation up about 10 days so I can be home for my anniversary, be home for my mother-in-law going home, and be home for the draft. There's 3 things happening. The first, if I come home on May 2nd, which I decided, if I come home on May 2nd, I'm going to miss about 3 or 4 things that are really important to me. I could come home a week earlier and make my anniversary with my wife, take my mother-in-law to the airport, which is really important to me, and be home for the draft, as well as Actually, the reason I was saying that is I have a really, really important meeting in Washington, D.C. It's about a 4-day meeting or 5-day meeting from the 18th to the 23rd, 24th, something like that. So, but really, guys, to me, what's up, Knock Zero in the house? How you doing? Cowboy X Factor, Boys for Life. Who cares what you put it out? LOL. It's not a big deal. TMZ has the video. Yeah, really, guys. I had some really bad feedback on that. It made me feel bad. I was like, dude, people don't realize I'm not trying to. The problem was Boys for Life, Cowboys X Factor, Buddy Johnson, Robert Hayes. The reason I'm saying this, Knox Zero, the reason I'm saying I felt bad about putting it out was I had some feedback, but I'm trying to put the news out to you guys. That's what we have YouTube channels for. I wasn't trying to throw Tyrone Crawford under the bus. He threw himself under the bus. Listen to this, guys. The guy's almost 30 years old. He's in Panama City, Florida, celebrating spring break. What is he doing? An NFL player, 30 years old, celebrating spring break. And I'm not trying to dog anybody out or whatever, but those are the kind of places you end up in. Coyote Ugly is all around the United States. It's a big nightclub. It gets really wild in those places. That's what it's known for. In a Coyote Ugly during spring break, 80% of those bouncers in there, those guys in the red shirts, they're hired for the week. They're there for a week to make a little extra money. What is he doing there? You're going to get challenged. You're going to have another alpha walk up to you and say, "Yeah, you bought shots for the whole bar twice. Fuck you. You ain't shit." I don't care if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, especially if there's a Tampa Bay fan there or there's some, Pittsburgh Steeler fan in the bar and they say, "Oh, Tyrone Crawford's here." "Oh, who's that?" "Oh, he's the defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys." You're going to have somebody challenge you. So that was stupid as fuck for him to be there in the beginning. Yeah, just like Zeke, just like these players. And I understand they have a young mentality. They have a party mentality. They have money. They want to go out. But you know what? You don't have to go to Panama City on spring break and be in Coyote Ugly. That's the wrong... Dude, I've traveled my whole life. I've partied a lot my whole life. I make good money. If I decide to party, I go to places where you can fucking party your ass off. And that's one of the places you would go. That's not a place for a young NFL player that's 30 years old, which is too old to be in a Coyote Ugly when you make millions of fucking dollars. This is what you do when you make money like that. You rent out a hotel room or you have a party at your fucking house. You invite people over and you hang out for the weekend and you party on your own. You don't go out into an area where there's a shitload of people. So moving on, I'm going to get back to this safety thing and addressing.
Welcome to Sorry If I Speak Tonight.
This is George IIOKA. I do like the fact I have seen him play a little bit. He is long, he is lean. I think Chris Richard can make him better than he has been before. But I really wanted the Cowboys to go safety at 58, and that's all I care about. My concern is if they change their mind and they think they can get a defensive lineman or an edge rusher at 58, and this guy's going to make an impact. He's not going to make an impact. We've seen it with Taco Charlton. Didn't make an impact the first couple years. He still hasn't. I think this year he will. So I'm not trying to be negative, guys. I'm not trying to be negative. I think Taco Charlton, this is his year where he starts progressing. I think defensive linemen and offensive linemen, the first 2 years, they're growing. They're hitting the NFL weight room. They're hitting the NFL diet. They have the NFL personal trainer. They have the NFL lifestyle where they have money. They can afford to eat properly. And the first 2 years of defensive and offensive linemen, they eat a fucking lot. And to eat healthy and to do those things, it is expensive and it is tough for a college student. And that's why, to me, one of the reasons, and being too young, you don't get your man strength till you're about 25, 27 years old. That's why I think defensive linemen come in and they're a little weak. I'm expecting him. Taco is going to hit the field in beast mode. I hope so. Cowboys fan, 1973. That's my man, Mike Clark. Is that right, Mike Clark? Is that you? I think you changed your your YouTube handle or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Cowboys fan 19. Okay, just jumped in. But that's my opinion. I think offensive linemen and defensive linemen come in and they just don't have that man strength yet. It takes them a year or two. So to me, at 58, if we go, okay, good to go. Thank you, brother. If we go defensive lineman at 58, I think it's a player that's not going to help us until 2021. And that's what I think. And we've seen it with DeMarcus Lawrence. He wasn't a man child at his rookie year or his sophomore year. Connor Williams really hasn't stepped in and dominated like we were hoping he would as a first round draft pick. Or excuse me, he was our second pick. Taco Charlton hasn't stepped in and really contributed like we thought he would as a first-round draft pick. Tyrone Crawford didn't step in. You can look around the league, guys. Javanian Clowney for Houston, he didn't step in and play well. He's playing well now, but he didn't play well his first year and a half, 2 years. So, to me, safety, corners, wide receivers, running backs, they're positions where you step in and you can be more effective your rookie year. They're smaller positions. The smaller positions, quarterback to me takes a little while to develop as well. And the reason I say that is quarterbacks take a little time to develop because it's more of a mental game. You've got to learn the speed is a little faster in the NFL. So that's my opinion. No, Cowboy Crunk, I'm from Georgia. I would just feel better if. Oh yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm safe here. I'm really, really safe here in where I'm at. I'm inside the airport. I live inside the compound. There's 3 or 4 walls of security out there before you get to where Cowboy Crunk lives. So I'm okay with it. And really sorry the internet is slow here, guys. I hope it's not lagging. What about Beasley? Comment on that. Man, I like the pickup of Cobb. 1 year, $5 million. He brings in, I think, some experience. I will tell you this, with Cobb being around Aaron Rodgers so much, I think he'll let us know a little bit about Dak Prescott. If Cobb is pissed off, he's like, hey man, you ain't getting me the ball in the right spot. You're late, you're behind me, or you're throwing high, or his accuracy. He was probably with one of the best quarterbacks, I would say, of all time. The guy's just a beast. I hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate saying it, but he's going to give us a good read on Dak Prescott. Now, will he verbally say anything about it? No, probably not. But he'll know. So we'll see how that. I'm going to miss Beasley, but sometimes it's better to move on. It was time for Beasley to get paid, and I don't think he was a player that I think he's one of those players that can be replaced fairly easy. And I'm hot for Jalen Hurd. If you guys know, you watch my channel. I think thank you, Cowboys fan 1973. I totally agree. Cobb is a great pickup. As far as a positional player. But I am very hot on Jalen Hurd. I don't know how he's going to fall in the draft. That guy could go in the 2nd round. He could go in the 5th round. We have no clue how many teams are hot for him. But that guy, he's going to be a beast at running back. He would be a beast at slot receiver. He would be a beast at wide receiver. He could play any of those positions. He was a Heisman Trophy contender. You cannot take that away from somebody. And this is 3 years ago. He was a Heisman Trophy contender and decided to change from running back to wide receiver. 6'3", 230 pounds. He is a draft pick phenom to me. I think even in the 3rd round, he's an amazing pick. So we'll see. Hurd's our boy. Yes, he is. Cowboys fan, and this is one of the things why I like watching the draft. I'm going to be sitting there every fucking pick. I'm going to be sitting there going, don't pick Jalen Hurd. Don't pick Jalen Hurd. And then when the Cowboys come on, I'll be like, pick Jalen Hurd. Pick Jalen Hurd. I mean, it's the drama, And that's why I did those mock drafts. I know they're not accurate. Those mock drafts are really garbage or bullshit, but it does give you a window on the players that are available. You get to learn the players' names. You can stop the mock draft online, and you can go over and you can go over and research players and learn their names and write their names down. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Mike Clark. That's Mike Clark at 1973. Okay, I'll say Mike Clark instead of Cowboys fan 1973. All right, Mike, I got you. I always give people, usually the guys that have been here a while, most of the people that have been on my channel for a while, they all have nicknames. So I'll get you a nickname sooner or later. Jeremy X, why do you feel Cobb will be any different than Beasley or Cobb or Hearns as far as letting Dak know he missed him? And I'm not on board with FA safety. I'm not on board with the safety at all either. Jeremy X. No, I'm just saying it'll give it. It's a different set of eyes as far as Cobb goes. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because he was with Aaron Rodgers, who's known to be a very, very good quarterback. So it would be like if I went and sat down with a professor at Baylor or Yale or whatever and talked to him and got information from him, or I sit down, let's say, with somebody that knows a shitload of things about the Dallas Cowboys and got information from them, and then I sit down with somebody else. And they gave me information as well, and I'd be like, this guy's garbage. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But that's why I'm talking about with Cobb. Cobb has been with a very, very good quarterback, and we'll get a perception on. My problem with Dak, love him to death. He's one of the best winners. I would say he's a top 5 NFL winner. He's a top 5 NFL winner. That guy fucking wins. Now, he might not be accurate sometimes. He may have a little problems with his pocket presence. He just doesn't feel the pocket closing on him. Sometimes you'll see him panic and run out, and you're like, dude, what were you running for? You had a perfect pocket there. And I'm not trying to dog him out. He is a freaking winner. If he can fix those two things, his accuracy, and they're not bad, it's just not elite. He has certain things in him that are elite. That's my opinion. Heath needs to go back to team tackling techniques. Mike Clark, my thing on Heath, this is what I've seen with him. He tackles really, really well up in the box. When you're talking about him hitting a hole and filling a gap, almost like a linebacker, he does well. But you get a running back coming at him one-on-one in open field, he takes a bad angle. Tate, I don't know. Tate's got his card. He played for Detroit. He just signed recently. He fucked us up with 2 touchdowns when he played with the Eagles. Now he's with the Eagles. I don't remember if he re-signed with the Eagles. But dude, Tate made him look ridiculous. He made him take bad angles, and he took 2 touchdowns to the house that weren't really, really amazing plays. The ball was caught in open field close to the sideline, and he took the wrong angle, and Tate took it. So that's my problem with Heath, is his angles on open field tackling. I think he tackles well in the box. He fills gaps good. If there's players in front of him, and he can see, I think he's really good at judging where the running back or the wide receiver is going to go, when there's blockers in front of him. But once in the open field, they give him a shake, and he's gone. Heath is scared of Rate. Oh, yeah, I think he's scared of Tate. Oh, he definitely, if he sees Tate coming at him with open field, Jeff Heath's probably already taken a shit. Yeah, I got you, Gerald. I know where you're at, brother. What's it with War Daddy been watching on the news? I have no clue, man. If you're talking about my name being War Daddy, it's because I'm in Afghanistan, and Jerry Jones made that name for DeMarcus Lawrence. Well, actually, he said, we need a War Daddy. What's up, Don? How you doing? Don Eaton in the house. So I I've been called that for a while because I've been over here for 14 years, and I procure the fuel for the military. I bring it in, whatever. So my nickname kind of has been War Daddy for a long time. But as far as DeMarcus Lawrence, we don't know what's going on with him. It looks like to me the Cowboys have franchise tagged him. They're putting him on the back burner, and they want to wait and see what gaps they can fill, what situations they can make happen before they sign DeMarcus Lawrence, and they're going to see how much money they got left. If they get in a situation, I think this is my thing on DeMarcus Lawrence. If they get in a situation where they can actually take DeMarcus Lawrence and take his money and get a trade for him, and at the same time there's a player, a free agent out there that they can say, holy shit, we can bring this guy in, release DeMarcus Lawrence, bring the money back, that's 21 million that we'll have, and get a first round draft pick. It would have to be a first round, I think. At least a late round or around 20, something at least close to 20 on the first round level pick for DeMarcus Lawrence. Then they might make a trade for him. They might trade DeMarcus Lawrence out, get a first round draft pick. You have $21 million sitting in your pocket. We've already got around $25 million. That would give us $45 million in free agency. We've got a first round draft pick now that we could definitely go defensive lineman on, and we freed up that money. And we could go safety in the second round for sure. So that would give us a first-round draft pick, a second-round draft. Well, we wouldn't get a second round, but we would still have our second-round draft pick. $21 million. You could take that $21 million and you could put it on Robert Quinn. You wouldn't have to worry about how much we paid him. You're like, bring the dude in. We got the money now. And you have money to pick up another defensive lineman, maybe a Ndamukong Suh. You could bring in Ndamukong Suh and Quinn and have a first-round draft pick for DeMarcus Lawrence right now. That's easily done. Jeremy X, we can get Sue, another top-notch defensive end. Yeah, you know what? We just had the same thought at the same time. We could get Sue and Quinn and still have a little bit of money left if we traded DeMarcus Lawrence. So, guys, don't – and I'm not saying that's what we should do. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if it comes down to it and he holds a bag of money over Jerry Jones' head – Jerry Jones ain't going to stand there and jump up at DeMarcus Lawrence and try to get him. DeMarcus Lawrence, if he becomes a piñata, if he becomes that piñata in the room hanging from the ceiling, Jerry Jones, he ain't swinging at that. He will not swing at the piñata. So we have to evaluate how this is going to go. I would love to keep D-Law. I would too, but this is the thing, Keith. I keep hearing say, people saying, I'm pissed off because, we didn't sign Earl Thomas. Or if we don't sign Earl Thomas, I'm pissed off because we didn't sign Earl Thomas. It's not that we didn't sign them. It's the thing is they didn't agree. This is the way I take it. They didn't agree to a very good offer that we gave them. That's their fault. We can't overpay for people. You know what I mean? If you need a gallon of milk, and you go to the supermarket and you walk in and it's $6, you don't just buy it and say, hey, well, I wanted a gallon of milk. This is what I got. You go to the other supermarket and you get a gallon of milk over there. And I know that that's kind of not a good scenario to talk about. It's not a way to relate it, but that's the way I think, guys. If DeMarcus Lawrence holds too much money over our head, we take a draft pick, we get the money back, we pick up without a question, we make the phone call, hey, we want Robert Quinn. What do you want? Okay, it's 11. If we pay his whole salary, not a big deal because we have that money. But we can still negotiate that, and we can bring in Ndamukong Suh for the same, about the same price. We should be able to get both of those guys, and have a draft pick. So to me, I'm good with that. We bring those guys in on 1 year or 2 year deals. We get a draft pick. DeMarcus Lawrence is gone, and that's the way we have to do it. You don't overpay for a player if he's asking for too much. But on this George IIOKA thing, I'm hoping Chris Richard can make him a little better than he has been before. It's not a player I'm extremely excited about. Guys, who was it? We brought in a guy from Philadelphia, And I'm trying to remember Joe Lucas. What's up, Lucas Brazzi? Tank is hurting his own self, waiting to do the surgery. Yeah, and that's another thing, Joe. Lucas Brazzi in the house with a strong statement. Big Dan Splat, Big Dan Blatt Splat, always coming to the room with something good to say. What do we got here for you? Dude, not impressed, even though he's a Boise State boy. Hopefully his alum brothers will get him. Yeah, and we do have Chris Richard. And Dan, I know you just got in here. My problem with Dan, not Dan. I'm sorry, that's you, brother. My problem with this is I wanted Chris Richard to get a young safety. I wanted him to get a safety at 58 that he could turn into Earl Thomas. And I don't know if we're going to get that now because they may go defensive lineman. I would love to hand that 58 pick to Chris Richard. As much as we've talked about safety, hand that number 58 pick to Chris Richard and say, who do you want? Okay. Sorry, I had a lag there. Yeah, we still can. I think so too, Gerald. I do. I had a question from somebody. Let me scroll back up a little bit here and see what we got going. It was before Dan. We need a better backup quarterback. AG, of course, I agree. I would love to have it as well. But I really think Dak. I think Dak is so damn solid. He's like a linebacker. You know, he only came out of a game for injuries. If anyone remembers this, if you can remember when Dak came out for an injury, I was kind of excited about it because I knew it wasn't a big injury. Dak came out of the game for a little while. I think it was against Washington. I can't remember. It was right before the half. Yeah, I think it was Washington. And he had injured his hand. His hand got stuck between his sternum, and one of the players hit his hand while he was scrambling. Yeah, he hurt his hand. You remember? And he sat down for a few minutes, and they took him to the locker room to evaluate him. Well, the Cowboys ended up punting. Washington ended up scoring a touchdown. Took a couple minutes. They drove down and scored a touchdown, and they kicked off to the Cowboys. And I was like so happy that Cooper Rush was going to get to play for a little while. I knew Dak was coming back. I was hoping his hand wasn't broken, but I was like, holy shit, Dak, hurt his hand. And then Ryan Switzer, if you guys recall, Ryan Switzer ran the kickoff back for a fucking touchdown. And I'm like, holy shit, now we don't get to see Cooper Rush. And then it was halftime. And then after halftime, Dak Prescott came back. So we didn't get to see Cooper Rush. I was a little pissed about it. But Dak is a beast, guys. So I'm not too concerned about the backup quarterback. I mean, truthfully, I will say yes. If Dak gets hurt, yeah, I'm extremely worried. I don't know how good Cooper Rush can be. I would say I'd prefer to have a veteran quarterback that doesn't cost us a lot of money, that I know could but I don't want to spend the money. When it comes down to the money, why spend the money if you think your player is almost, I think of Dak as like Superman. I think he's invincible. I don't think he's going to get hurt. I think Dak will never get hurt. And that's why one thing, guys, I want to talk about Dak Prescott's contract real quick. I've talked to a few people, and everybody's talking about, what's up, Roger Dat? Asher. Oh, Asher, how you doing, bro? I hadn't seen you in a while. Cowboys for Life 309. You guys get ready. I want to go into Dak's contract and what you guys think. You guys throw up some numbers. Tell me what you guys think we should do with Dak Prescott and his contract. Connor in the house. Rap at 58. Dan, if he's there, that's a fucking bargain. I don't know if he's going to be there, but Dan, I think he might be. And the reason is there was so many safeties out there in free agency. There's one of two things. Either teams are happy with their young safeties and they let their older safeties go, because a lot of the safeties we saw out there are a little older and they're happy with their young guys. So there's going to be quite a few teams looking at safety. But another thing is a lot of teams picked up safeties in free agency. You guys saw how many free agent safeties there were out there. We could get to our pick at 58, and there might be two safeties off the board There's a possibility maybe a safety goes at 20-something and another one goes at 40-something, and we're sitting there and Rapp will be on the board. Rapp could be on the fucking board at 58. There's a possibility, guys. If that's there, that's a lock. When they say Dallas Cowboys are on the board, we could sprint to the fucking microphone and say Taylor Rapp at 58. The Dallas Cowboys has selected, and with the 58 pick in the 2019 draft, the Dallas Cowboys has selected Taylor Rapp, and I hope that happens. That would be cool as shit. Golden Heart City in the house again, brother. I do not move. Where are we at, man? 1 second here. Oh, here it is. It's actually right under my computer. Again, salute to my brother, and congratulations for your wife's retirement. I appreciate the card. That was really cool. As I told you, it took me 2 months to get it. It was here, and I had to go get it, so I really appreciate that. I got a card in the mail from Golden Heart City 2, and I hope your move went well. I hope you didn't have an issue getting your move done from Sherman, Texas, down to, I think it was Arkansas. I hope that went well for you. So this computer's lagging a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I got some things going in the background there, and these damn commercials. These people with their monetized channels and their commercials popping up really piss me off. But Roger Asher, I wish I was going to the draft. I have so much shit to do on this vacation. I got my wife's anniversary. My mother-in-law is leaving to go back to her home country, which is Panama. Then we got the draft. I'm supposed to be here actually until May the 2nd, but I think I'm going to try to move it up. I'm going to see how much it costs to change my ticket and see. So Roger Asher from Arkansas, thank you, brother. I would pay more than. Oh, you're talking about for DeMarcus Lawrence? Or are you talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. We did start talking about Dak Prescott. This is my thing with Dak Prescott. I would pay Dak no more than $22 million. That's where Bill Jones is at. I'd love to get Rapp at 58. I hope that's there. I don't know if it's going to be. I could see Philadelphia picks right before us. You know what? Philly's done this before. They've known. Everybody watches the freaking Cowboys. Philadelphia has picked players before us that they knew we were interested in, and they did it to keep us from getting them. So we'll see. But for me, Sam, you got a high number there. I appreciate it, though. I understand it. To me, it's not too high. I mean, it could be. Let Dak be a free agent. See if a team will pay him 25 or 30. Now you're fucking rolling the dice. Sam's a gambler, bro. You go put Dak out on free agency. But hey, I agree. I really, really, really do. I don't want to overpay any fucking player. And it could come down to that. But to me, I would do this. I would give Dak a 10-year deal. 10 years. 220 or 230 million fucking dollars. That's a lot. But it's over 10 years, guys. You got to think in 5 years, that means in 5 years, you know what I saw today? It blew me the fuck away. Blew me away, guys. Yeah, 10-year deal. Give it. He's a solid linebacker type quarterback. He's had no injuries. He's been on the field for every fucking play. He's not going to get hurt. Give him a 10-year deal. If we think he's the guy, he is winning. He's winning. Whether he has some accuracy issues or he has some problems in the pocket with the pocket presence, give him a 10-year deal. Give him a 10-year deal for $23 million. You throw that in his face, $230 million. Guys, listen to this. I was watching a documentary today, and I've got to take a second to try to recall who the hell it was. It was Michael Jordan. Michael fucking Jordan. I watched a documentary. I'm sorry for the cuss words, guys. I watched a documentary on Michael Jordan today. In 1989, guess what he made from the NBA? And you guys know NBA players are making a hell of a lot more than NFL players are. 1989, Michael Jordan, they were talking about he's the highest paid athlete and blah, blah, blah. He made $500,000. $500,000 in 1989. That is freaking ridiculous. Now we're talking about paying quarterbacks $35 million. You're talking about a baseball player that just signed a contract $330 million or something, $340 million, whatever the hell it was. I turned the channel when I saw that. I said, this is getting ridiculous, man. How am I supposed to go to a game and enjoy myself and buy a fucking hot dog when there's a quarterback making $35 million a year? I'm glad I don't live in Green Bay because he's destroyed that team. And you guys can see it already. That's one of the reasons to me, that's one of the reasons we got Randall Cobb. They couldn't afford him. They said, we got to let some players go. We got to cut back. We got to cut back on costs. To me, he's super. Lucas Brazzi, he is super durable. He's a stud, and he's durable, and he's going to be there, and he can win. And he goes in the fourth quarter. His stats in the fourth quarter are better than any fucking quarterback in the league. Why? Because when we push Dak and say, go win the game, he does it. When we push Dak and say, throw the damn ball to Amari Cooper, get the ball out of your hands, get the ball to the tight ends, move it down the field. If you got to run it, go do it. And he does it, and he wins. And that's all that Dak needs. Once he gets some time, Trout, $420 million. Gerald, I changed the fucking channel. I was so pissed. I said, how the fuck can these kids, how can a 15 or 13 or 12-year-old kid how can a father afford to take his kid to a game because you got to pay, you got to pay $400 or $300 or $200 for a ticket. That's ridiculous to me. The salaries are getting overwhelming. I don't like it. Michael Jordan made $500,000 in 1989, and he was known to be the best athlete on the planet. The best athlete on the planet made $500,000 in 1989. So if we can sign Dak, which is where I started with this shit story, if we can sign Dak right now for $23 million a year, give him a 10-year contract, give him a 12-year contract, sign him for $260 million for 12 years, I would do it right now. Give him 100 of it guaranteed. Give it to him at signing bonus. When he signs his name, hand him $100 million. He would do that in a minute. And 5 years from now, we would have probably one of the cheapest quarterbacks in the league. We would have Dak Prescott as one of the cheapest quarterbacks in the league if we give him a long-term deal. 5 years from now, we would have a cheap-ass quarterback. So that's where I'm at. And a matter of fact, if you think about it, think about this. This year, the cap went up $11 million. Every year, it goes up about $10 or $11 million. So within 2 years, you're getting Dak for free. Because if the cap goes up $11 million this year, that means next year you've already paid half his salary because the cap went up, and then the next year it goes up another $11 million. You've paid his whole salary, so you have Dak Prescott for free within 3 years. The rest of his time here is paid because the cap went up. That's where I'm at. I've talked to my head is hot again. But I've neglected the chat box. I'm sorry, guys. Where we at? Let me see. Keith in the house. Let's give Dak Prescott no more than $1 million. Come on, man. You gotta do better than that. Hopefully, more will help Dak be better. I think Dan on that. I think Kellen Moore is going to be a much better offensive coordinator than Linehan. I didn't like him at quarterback coach. I didn't think he had the experience to be a quarterback coach, but I think he does. And to me, I think being a quarterback coach, you've got to have, you got to know drills that can help a quarterback. You've got to be able to help him with his accuracy. You've got to be real in tune with like a person. And that takes an older guy to be in tune with a person. Now, to be able to organize plays and see a playbook and develop plays, he came from Boise State as well, another Boise State. This is, you have Boise State University. I think we're Boise State Pro. We're the professional NFL Boise State football team. That's where we are right now. Jeremy X. Reports say Dak's success. Let me get that because that's a long one. Reports say Dak's success is in fourth quarter because he's own his own. Yeah, I agree with that also. He makes his own decisions. He comes up to the line. He reads the defense and he makes his own decisions. And he don't have to go off of the garbage that Linehan's throwing to him. Imagine this. This is like, to me, this is what I really imagine. Jeremy X, this is what I imagine with Dak Prescott. Dak's in the huddle. One receiver runs out. Another receiver, Cole Beasley, runs in to give him the play, and he like hands him a potato, and he's like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?" I mean, he hands him something that he can't use, and that's why in the fourth quarter, when it's moving like this, and Dak just comes up to the line and reads the line of scrimmage, it's like bang, bang, bang down the field. And I really, really think Dak is a lot better than some people think. I think Linehan held him back. Working class cowboy in the house. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Where we at? Shit ain't free, but Jerry's money. I'm good with it. Hey Dan, I keep hitting Dan up because your logo's got the red on it. It stands out a little bit. But I agree. That's our money. That is our money until it's handed to a player. So any move in this organization, that's why I won't, not trying to bring it back up. But when a situation happens like with the Tyrone Crawford thing that we got going on, we don't know what's going to happen. It affects us. It affects us. It affects my season. You know, something happens to one of these players. If something happens to Amari Cooper in a nightclub and he gets suspended, it affects me from right now until the fucking season's over. I'm going to be pissed off. When we lose a game, I'm going to be upset because we lost a game because Amari Cooper's not there or Ezekiel Elliott suspended. It affects me. So I get real passionate when shit happens and these players do stupid things. And people say, oh, you're throwing Tyrone Crawford's trash out in the street or laundry, whatever. Sorry, guys, it affects me. It affects the draft. It affects the players we have now. It affects the signing of DeMarcus Lawrence. It affects the signing of Robert Quinn. It affects a lot of shit. So when those things happen, you know, and people say, oh, don't worry about Tyrone. Don't worry about this. Don't, you know, if Amari Cooper gets in trouble, you know, fuck Randy Gregory. And no, dude, that affects my whole life, bro. That affects my season. And if you guys agree, give me some thumbs up in the fucking chat or whatever. You know, if you go to work on Monday pissed off because we lost, I hope we get Bill Jones. I agree. I hope we get, I want to see thumbs up. If you guys agree, please. It affects me, dude. Not just Monday morning. It affects me Sunday night. It affects me Monday morning. I'm thinking about it all freaking week. It pisses me off until the next game. And that's one thing I hate about football. I hate about football. Thanks to Randy Gregory, we're forced to draft Taco. Grady, I have a really, really strong belief on offensive linemen and defensive linemen. They take a couple years because it takes a little while to get your man strength. You come out of college, you know, you're partying in college, obviously you're still partying at 30 years old at Panama City in the nightclubs during spring break. It's spring break, guys. I don't know if you know that right now. It's spring break. And that's what this guy was down there doing. He's in a position where we are very needy. He's down there partying during spring break. Okay, go to the next fucking topic. I'm sorry. But Taco's going to come up this year, guys. I think he will. I really think this is his year to start moving up with his strength, with his ability, if he's done the right things. Now, he has to do the right things, but I think, guys, look at this. Look at some of our young players. Taco Charlton, Connor Williams, Xavier Woods, Chidobe Awuzie, Byron Jones, a little bit. Tyrone Crawford has a good reputation for. I know, yeah, he does. He does, Samuel, and I agree. And another thing is, why didn't you YouTube let know you started streaming? Damn you, YouTube. Oh, Stevie Mack in the house. How you doing, brother? One of my probably my favorite fan guys. Him and Dan Splatt always here. But guys, really, Taco Charlton, Connor Williams, Chidobe Awuzie, Leighton Vander Esch, these are all those guys, guaranteed. All those guys are going to be better this year than they were last year. They're young, they're up and coming, they're going to be better, and they're some of our best players. So if we lose a DeMarcus Lawrence, if we trade him, get a first-round pick, we have that money, we sign Robert Quinn, we bring in Ndamukong Suh with that same money, we got DeMarcus Lawrence here. and you could have DeMarcus Lawrence, or you could have Ndamukong Suh and Robert Quinn, and probably still have a little money left, and a draft pick. You could have a draft pick, Ndamukong Suh, and Robert Quinn. That's the money is here. The draft pick is here for this guy. So to me, I don't. If it doesn't happen, that's not what I want. Am I on Twitter? Yeah, I just opened a Twitter account the other day. I really don't use it. I only use it to follow. Like the guys that are putting out information. As a matter of fact, I haven't checked my Twitter in an hour. There could be some good shit on there. So let me check that real quick. But to me, guys, we've got really young players that are going to come up. Leighton Vander Esch is going to be better than he was last year, as well as Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith is going to be better than he was the year before. Last year he was about 95%. Towards the end of the year, he was 100%. At the beginning of the year, he was about 90. Midway through the season, he was about 95. At the end of the year, he was 100%. So you guys got to think how well he played those last few games. We're going to get that all season. We're going to get that, and we're going to get him and Leighton Vander Esch working together, learning the offense. If we bring in a rookie safety that Chris Richard can take, he could take that baby chicken rookie safety and blow him up into, I promise you, if we get a safety at 58, Chris Richard, if it's the right pick, will turn him into the next Earl Thomas. He will turn him into the next Earl Thomas. And that's where I think we need to go. But I think Connor Williams are coming up into their prime. They're going to start coming into their prime. They're just getting into the position. They're just coming into the position where those offensive line, defensive line, that is a position where men live. Men live and work. You guys got to think Martin, Frederick, those guys were pretty good their rookie years. They were pretty good their second years. They're in their prime like last year and the year before. It takes you a while in those positions to get your man strength and do really well. Give me cash. I agree. If we can't sign DeMarcus Lawrence where he wants to be, where the Cowboys can pay him right, I'm okay with that. Ndamukong Suh, Robert Quinn, and a draft pick. That's what we would have. That's what we could have if DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't work out. So I'm okay with it. I don't want it, but you got to move on. You got to cut your losses and move on. But Connor Williams is going to be better this year. Jalen Smith is 100%, not 95. That's going to be a big difference. Leighton Vander Esch is going to, you guys know how good he was last year. He's going to be much better than that this year. And as long as these guys stay healthy, that is a big thing. Another thing is Chidobe Awuzie came on pretty strong last year. Byron Jones was still learning corner at the beginning of the season. Guys, we really, really had the moves we made last year, especially after we got Cooper Rush. We changed the offensive line coach. Those Ciafola, I can't remember how we say his name, but that guy played very well in place of Connor Williams. Cameron Fleming played amazing to me for a backup left tackle. He played very fucking good when Tyrone Smith was down. So, guys, we've got that package. We've got everything there. We need one or two players. How do you think we will use Witten? I think Witten will come in definitely on third downs. That's an automatic. I think he's going to help us extend drives on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8. I think he'll, 2nd and 12. This is the thing with the Cowboys, guys. I want comments on this one. Give me thumbs up or thumb down on this comment. Thumbs up or thumbs down. You guys get it ready. I have a comment. We have a big problem because we're a methodical team that moves the ball down the field slow, and it takes Ezekiel Elliott out of the game. It takes Ezekiel Elliott out of the game when we get a penalty. When we go to 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20 or 1st and 15, that almost takes Ezekiel Elliott and takes him off the field because we have trouble completing, 1st and 20s because we don't. Dak sometimes is just not that dynamic, big play quarterback. So we've got to keep the penalties down, guys. And that's one thing We saw with Lyle Collins with the holdings. It was pissing me off last year sometimes. Him and Connor Williams had quite a few. Joe Looney played amazing, and he's a great backup. So I think we're good to go, guys. I think we're going to have a really good season. I'm really hopeful. Aaron Garcia in the house. Thank you, guys. Brandon Collins. I didn't get any, but guys, really, truthfully, I got some claps from Gene Martinez. We have troubles converting after a penalty. We really do. We've got to keep the penalties down, and I think the older Connor Williams gets, the more educated he gets. Lyle Collins has hurt us. He's past that stage where I don't think he's improving anymore. I think he's kind of hit his plateau, and he still plays well, but he has not panned out for us. And that's what hurts us, guys. When we get penalties, it's almost like let's get what we can get and punt because we're not going to get a 1st and 20. And Cooper Rush just helped us in that situation. So that's something I hope we can work on. If we got to move guys around, Brandon Collins, if we got to move, Connor Williams to right tackle, that's a possibility. Siafula really has played pretty well. Siafula, I can't recall how to say his name. I had it yesterday and now I forgot it. But when you're doing this YouTube shit, the names and shit go through your, I wonder which safety will get cut off. No, man. Stevie Mack, I like Frazier. Stevie Mack, you watch a lot. I think our safeties will be Frazier, Heath, Woods, and IOKA. And if we draft one, we're going to have to draft one. And that's why I really heard about, but I like Frazier. I got his jersey, man. I bought a Frazier jersey last year because I thought he had really a couple good games in preseason, and I thought he was going to play well. Suafila, thank you, brother. Jeremy X in the house. Suafila, Sushi. Luca Brazzi knows I give everybody a nickname because I can't remember shit. So, yeah, Sushi's a good name. I like Sushi Afila. Sushi Afila sounds good to me. So that's what I'm going to call him. But I like Frazier because of his size, his length. I think if Chris Richard coaches the guy up, he can be really good, as well as he dominates on special teams. So I hope you're wrong, Stevie Mack. Me and you always agree because you really throw knowledge out there. But I don't know what this is. A message held for review, but I don't see the message. Yeah, I know. We just signed a backup safety too. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know about the Darian Thomas thing. I'm on here. Matter of fact, let me check my Twitter. I've only got one message on there. Source safety agreed to 1-year deal that creates competition at safety spot. Okay, yeah, that's all it says. It doesn't say about the price. The Cowboys interested in George IIOKA says about Eric Berry. What does it say about what it says about Eric Berry is he has an issue with injuries. And I will say this, I saw a small quote. I don't know, it was a report kind of that he had some issues with bone spurs, and that's what took him so long to recover. And when they did his medical evaluation, this is Barry, that it didn't come out so great. So I'm telling you exactly what Cowboys are doing. Trolls getting in the way, troublesome. What's going on, Fish? Why so angry today? I don't know. I'm telling you exactly what Cowboys. Mike Fisher's pissed off at the trolls. He probably considers me one of those since I do troll him, but I don't think I've gone against anything he said. Agreed to $1 million a 1-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm checking my Twitter, guys. Sorry, give me a minute. Here on Friday, VIP story: Cowboys are going to pick safety George IIOKA over Eric Berry. Yeah, with his health concerns. Okay, well, nobody's commenting rude shit or incorrect shit on you. Here we go. Exactly. So no news on Quinn yet, guys, but we do have news. You guys know we've signed George IIOKA. I think he'll do okay. I really like Kayvon Frazier. I like his special teams enthusiasm. Dude, he's always around the ball on special teams. He's made some pretty good plays in preseason. You know, people say, "Oh, I can't wait for the season to start," and they don't watch preseason, and preseason games aren't important. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. Preseason is where you figure out who your backup guys are. Sometimes you find a diamond in the rough in preseason. I love preseason. It's almost like a different game to me. I like watching preseason because preseason could be the opportunity for Rico Gathers to get on the field. I'm wearing my Rico Gathers jersey. Hell yeah. Uh, Preseason could be the opportunity that Rico Gathers gets on the field and plays his ass off. And you're like, holy shit, you know, we've had this tight end sitting here, which I've been praying for that they'd use him. And the only reason I do that, it's not like I'm an idiot and I'm praying for this guy that's on the bench, but I just see his size. I see his possible ability to help the Cowboys. And yeah, Marvin Jenkins, you're on my page right there. Let me finish the Rico comment up real quick. But Nick Blue in the house. How you doing, brother? Stevie Mack. Meanwhile, Trey Boston hasn't even. Yeah, Stevie Mack. There's still a bunch of free agent safeties out there. So that's why I'm thinking, there's so many free agent safeties. Safeties in the draft could fall down. We could get Rapp at 58. I'm hoping we get Rapp at 58. It's going to be close, but we'll see. Finish up the Rico Gathers, then I'm back to Marvin on the special teams there. I think Rico has the ability. He's made some amazing catches with the few catches he had thrown to him. He's made amazing plays with the few plays he was given, and he's been put out there as a run blocker now. You guys look, Rico Gathers is out there on first down. So I hope he gets the opportunity. I hope he's like, this a player that comes off and picks up, falls into a slot and falls into the position. I know, done with Rico, move on. I really probably need to. There's a possibility I need to, but I thought Rico might ask for a trade. He say, you know what? The Cowboys don't want to use me. F y'all. If Rico threw his name out there on a trade, you don't think somebody would give a 6'8", 200? He is 6'8". He's not 6'6". He played at Baylor, and he broke records there. He has all their records for rebounding at Baylor. He has amazing hands, and he's an athlete, and that's why I just wanted to give him an opportunity. That's why it's hard for me being a basketball player. I played basketball 2 years in college, and for me to be a basketball player, it's tough to let this guy go when 5 of the top 10 tight ends in the history of football, 5 of the top 10 tight ends in the history were basketball players. So where we were at with the franchise, Frazier and Heath. Frazier and Heath on special teams would be, man, that's a Pro Bowl combination right there on special teams, and that's why I like Frazier. I know you can't say, oh, we got to keep him because he's outstanding on special teams, but Bill Bates started that way. I got my Bill Bates jersey. What's right behind us? Bill Bates started as an elite special teams guy. Cowboys family in the house. Hey, I got a direct comment to you, please. Yeah, I know. I agree. 100%. You guys saw my video. If you saw the thing, I'm not too happy with it. I hope the Cowboys still draft safety at 58. I think we might have just spent some money. I was asking this again, Cowboys family. You'll know you got much better memory than me. I got 2 comments. If you could stay in the chat, I know you usually stop in for just a second, say hello, and you jump off. I know you're busy, but I got 2 comments. We signed a guy from the Eagles a while back and paid him some money, and then released him halfway through the season. And I'm trying to remember who it was. It was a secondary guy. We signed a guy from the secondary from the Eagles just a year. It was like the year before last. It wasn't last year. It was the year before last. Nolan Carroll. Stevie Mack in the motherfucking house. Nolan Carroll, thank you. That pissed me off. I didn't like that pick, and I think this could be the same way. Second thing, my Cowboys family, I apologize. I sent you that video. I hope you had a chance to look at it concerning one of our defensive linemen that might be in a situation. I did post a video. I posted the videos just to get the news out to Cowboy fans. We might have another issue at defensive lineman. And then I took the videos down. I just wanted the Cowboy fans to see that. I wanted you guys to see it. No, I don't think IOKA will start either. But my situation on the Tyrone Crawford thing, I had some people pissed off at me. But I'm trying to get news out to Cowboy fans. That's what we do. You know, guys, I'm super happy about Covington as well. I don't know if you have a comment on that. You don't have to comment. I just wanted to tell you why I sent you that. I want the Cowboy fans to know, and I want my Cowboy family. I wanted you to know. I sent it also to Mark Holmes. Mark Holmes wasn't too happy about receiving it. I don't know why people reject like truth. When they see truth, sometimes people reject it. So I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I just wanted to tell you why I sent it to you. I don't want to hear later if the guy gets suspended, oh, he didn't do shit, he didn't do nothing. The NFL's picking on the Cowboys. So I'm moving on. Forget that. Covington is a young guy. He's coming in as defense. You know, he's going to play defensive tackle for us. Yeah, I'm moving on, bro. I don't want to talk about it, but I did want to get the news out. So when people, if he gets suspended, they're not, he didn't do shit. He did some shit. You don't do what he did. That's obstruction of justice, and I hope he doesn't get shit for it, and he shouldn't. The police didn't do shit for him. Okay, moving on again. But I wanted to make myself clear to you because I respect you as a YouTuber, and you run a very, very good channel, brother. Amazing channel. Yeah. So anyways, and that's why that they didn't get arrested. I think that's why there was no issue. So anyway, I will never forget the Nolan Carroll. Stevie Mac, that pissed me off, the Nolan Carroll thing, and I think this is the same thing. This is what I got at safety still. Still, to this freaking day, I got Xavier Woods, I got Xavier Woods, I got Jeff Heath, and then I got Frazier. I got Frazier over IOKA. I think Frazier plays very well. He's missing some he misses angles and some other things, but I still have Frazier over IOKA. He plays amazing on special teams. IOKA might be a special team standout for us as well, but I don't think I got a hello Colby in the house. How you doing, brother? That's where I stand. I still think he's not in our starting rotation at all. I still think we have to go safety. If you're still in here, my Cowboys family, I watch your channel a lot. I think safety at 58 is a lock right now, unless we get some kind of suspension on somebody from our team. Frazier not better than IOKA. We'll see. I've seen Frazier in the preseason games make some outstanding ball hawk type plays. Now, he makes mistakes. I think he's over-aggressive, and his over-aggressiveness causes problems. But I still think that over-aggressiveness can do shit for us sometimes. Frazier is okay, but he missed a lot of tackles. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's something that can be coached. He could be coached up on that. In Chris Richard, we trust. Perfect timing. Nang Vang. Hey, that's a cool name, brother. Nang Vang. Perfect timing with your quote there. Frazier's just a depth guy, but he's exactly the size that Chris Richard likes. He is fast. He is a good tackler. He hits hard. He's a hard hitter, but he takes bad angles and he misses tackles. He gets aggressive. He's overly aggressive, but it has worked out for him at times. So I need to move this so that you guys can, so I'm maybe a little better in the, okay, that's a little better, guys. Sorry. IOKA isn't my guy yet, but let's see. I don't like that move. We'll see what happens. But to me, I still want safety at 58. And I think Rapp could fall. And the reason is there's so many safeties out there on free agency that if these teams decide, hey, let's go get our safety now, and then at 58 we can get a wide receiver, or at 58 we can get, and other teams may decide that. I hope we don't. I hope that the Cowboys see there's a shitload of safeties out there at free agency. If teams pick up those safeties, we're going to get the third, maybe the fourth best safety off the board, and I think that's that's where we need to go. 100% safety, unless and then before the draft we get some shit that one of our defensive linemen is going to be suspended for an extensive amount of time. If we get that, that changes our draft. It really, really does. And then again, as I said, guys, Wilcox sucked. Hey man, bro. I haven't deleted anybody from my channel, but that was my boy JJ Wilcox. JJ Pop. I liked him because he hit good. Gene, sorry. Yeah, though he had some issues with coverage. He was actually horrible in coverage. Yeah, Gene, I'm sorry, bro. I like JJ Wilcox. I like that he hit hard. He hit. Well, I got some on my tooth there. He hit really, really hard, and I like that. So that was all. I like the fact that he laid the wood down. Yeah, and that was his job. So he sucked at his job, but I loved him. So I appreciate you throwing that out there. I do miss him. I was thinking the Cowboys could maybe get him back or something, but I guess that's not a good idea. Wow, that's a fucking compliment. D. Will comes in with a strong statement. JJ Wilcox, well, he probably played with his eyes closed because he hit so goddamn hard. Well, you guys know he's had a couple concussions since he left the Cowboys already. So let's see. Yeah, he hit hard but took bad angles. Grady, I also agree. Where was that comment at? D. Will rolls in with IOKA is like Steve Atwater. I guess you could see some similarities, I guess, some minor similarities, but Steve Atwater was a beast, bro. I mean, he was super Pro Bowl beast. Let's all cheer to Mo Claiborne and Carr gone. I like me some Mo Clay a little bit. I used to love saying Mo Clay when he'd make a play, but I don't know, guys. We'll have to see. Hello, Crunk. Keith in the house. How you doing, brother? Great size. Yeah, he does have good size, and I think Chris Richard can make him better than he's ever been. And I'm talking about George IOKA. Oh, if you're talking about George IOKA, Gene Martz, if you're talking about IOKA with the great size, I'm hoping. And Marvin, I agree. Marvin Jenkins, IOKA's good. Maybe Chris Richard can make him really, really good or great. We'll see. Could George IOKA be a Rodney Harrison? I don't know if I'd put him at that level. I really don't like the pick. I would prefer to save that money and put that money towards a better player and sign instead of, like, let's say, instead of getting George IOKA and spending this money, now the money's gone. What if Robert Quinn comes with a deal and Miami and Dallas finally work out a deal and they say, damn, if we had $3 million more, or $2 million more, well, if you get rid of IOKA, you had that $2 million. So I would prefer to address this defensive line issue we got going on right now before we address the safety, because I think we got safety locked up at 58. If they wanted to resolve the safety issue, all you do is keep who we have and draft at 58, and safety's done. And you got Chris Richard to coach those guys up, get them together, get them to play together. You got a brand new baby chicken fresh out the egg, baby. A brand new baby chicken fresh out the egg. You hand him to Chris Richard and you say, take this chicken and turn him to I'm trying to think of a bird that's not in the league already. What's that, pterodactyl? Take this baby chicken and turn him into a cowboy pterodactyl. I don't want to say eagle because I don't want him to turn him into an eagle because he definitely don't want to play for Philly. So that's where I'm at, guys. I hope we still draft safety at 58, and that's my biggest concern with this. Well, we will have about $10 million left. Technically, could still make another move. Yeah, we will, and I think we will. I hope it's with Robert Quinn. I know he's a little older, but I think he's like right at the top of his prime window, and I think Marinelli could take take him and kind of rejuvenate his career. I think another thing, when you take a player like Haley, like when we had Haley or when we had Ware, I mean Haley, when we had Ware, you take a player at that age and you bring him out and let him stand on the star, and you have the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, AT&T Stadium looking down upon you, it rejuvenates your career. Dude, that rejuvenates your fucking career. And I know that that's what Earl Thomas wanted, and Earl Thomas messed up. He will never be a Dallas Cowboy now. He screwed that up. He asked for too much. And I will say this, guys. We always say, "Oh, I'm so pissed off we didn't get ET. I'm pissed off we didn't get Robert Quinn. I'm pissed off we didn't do this." If they ask for too much, I gotta respect the Cowboys for doing what we're doing and moving on. I don't know yet, but I guess the IOKA deal was about. I'm hoping around 3.5, Stevie Mac, but you may be right. I think that's too much, but we'll see. And the reason I think it's too much is only reason is I think we're going to draft a safety at 58, and if we do that, Ioka's down on the maybe he plays in front of Heath a little. I don't know, but I don't know if he's a starter or not. Give me your opinion on that, Stevie Mac. I want safety at 58. Gene says. Get Dexter Lawrence from Clemson. I wish. That guy's going to be way gone, D. Will. He will be way gone before the Cowboys are on the board. He'll be gone day one. Would you love us to trade up and get Ed Oliver? Alexander, the only way that's going to happen is if we probably don't have DeMarcus Lawrence anymore. It would take a DeMarcus Lawrence type deal to get us up there, but we would have the money. We would have the money to go out and get Robert Quinn. We would also have the money probably to sign DeMarcus Lawrence, and we would have the money to possibly could get a trade value similar to where Ed Oliver will fall. So that's a possibility, but if we get him, I would almost say guaranteed that we don't have DeMarcus Lawrence anymore. Dave Yarnall, how you doing, brother? I don't recall the name, but if you're new to the channel, welcome, brother. If you're not new to the channel, I apologize for not catching your name before. Where are we at now? I just missed it. Hey, do you think signing Cobb will affect Hearns in any way? Yes, I do. I think Hearns is on the bubble, and I hate to say that. I know he had a drastic injury. Stevie Mac, give me your comment on that as well. You're always here. Lucas Brazzi, what do you think about Yarnall's question? Do you think it's good? It says it's going, but I'm having Afghani technical difficulties is what I'm having, and I have those all the damn time. I didn't have hot water for a week, bro. If you guys can hear me, hang in there, hang on there. Superstar status. I like that name, brother. Superstar status in the house. This one is off also. I might be disconnected here for a second. Gotta love YouTube. Gotta love the internet in Afghanistan, and what I have to put up with is garbage. Let me clear my throat. It's going to stop right there, and it's going to freeze out on me. And I have no clue what is going on with the YouTube here. Hey guys, if you're out there still, hold on just a second. I'll be back up in just a minute. I'm gonna sit here and talk to myself, I guess, while the internet is lagging. And it looks like my Wi-Fi is down. Yes, my Wi-Fi is down. Actually, this is a good chance to get the fuck off of here. Bro, I'm gonna roll that motherfucker out so fucking fast. I'm gonna actually call. I'm gonna fucking email this motherfucker. I want you to email and say, hey, I did sponsorship for an Afghani family, and I'm I am I offered him, and now he has not used it, and he went there twice and came back, and he's still living here, which I don't fucking like. Because the purpose of giving him that was to make a safe environment for him and his family, and now he's got his residency. What do I do? I want to know what I need to do. I want him notified. Out of here. He's actually my boss. And I will tell you this. I don't want nothing to do with him anymore. I don't want nothing to do with him or his fucking family, and I'm getting the hell out of here. He's treating me completely different. You know why? Because he don't have the military tracks that he had before, and he's not making the money he's had before. So he's treating me like shit. He don't answer my messages anymore. He don't answer my emails when I have shit to do at work. He's pissed at me because I don't go into the office all the time. But when I go into the office all the time, I'm doing my work. I'm sending him messages. I'm asking questions. Hey, we need to do this. When you have to do this, we have to fix this problem. And I'm getting nothing back from him. Zero. So why should I go to the office if I'm going to the office? No, hell no. I'll be the last person to leave here. I got to Zim his residency. He's moved on since then. He moved to USA for a couple weeks, then moved back. Then he moved to Washington for a couple weeks, then moved back over here. Now he's got a house in Istanbul. He's going to USA just enough to keep his papers current. That's not what I did that package for him for. That package was to send him to USA so he could have a good life with his family where he's safe. And now he's turned that down and he's not using it. And now he's treating me like shit after I work 16-hour, 18-hour days here. And there's only a couple hours of work here now. Now he's pissed off at me because they want to send us home. They want to get rid of my $15,000 a month salary, and they want to send me home, but they feel bad about me. They've got tenants and houses in Istanbul. Doctors drives a fucking $3 million Bugatti and all this shit, and now they're selling all that shit and they're tripping out because they have too many partners.